Have you ever looked at the person lying next to you and felt completely alone? Like there's a wall between you, built of unspoken words and unshared feelings? You're reaching out, but they're pulling back. That's what we're diving into today. We're talking about the often overlooked signs that your partner might be emotionally checked out of your relationship. Let me tell you, in my decades of working with couples, I've learned that relationships thrive on honesty, both with yourselves and with each other. When one person starts holding back, it creates a breeding ground for resentment, insecurity, and ultimately, heartbreak. We're going to unpack 8 red flags that your partner might not be in it anymore. Now, these signs don't automatically mean it's over, but they are a wake-up call. They're a sign that you need to start paying attention, to start asking some tough questions, and most importantly, to start talking. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship. It's how we connect, how we resolve conflict, how we build intimacy. So, when your partner starts clamming up, it's a major red flag. Maybe they used to call you every day, and now you're lucky to get a text back. Or maybe they used to be an open book, sharing their thoughts and feelings, and now they just give you one-word answers. This withdrawal can be subtle, but it's crucial to pay attention. Are they still engaging in conversations, or are they just going through the motions? Do they still make eye contact when you're talking, or are they looking everywhere but at you? These changes might seem small, but they can be a sign of a much larger issue. It's like they've slowly started to turn the volume down on your relationship, and you're left wondering what happened to the music. Remember, communication isn't just about the words we say, it's about the effort we put into connecting with our partner. And when that effort starts to fade, it's time to take a long, hard look at what's going on. Emotional distance can be insidious. It creeps in slowly, like a fog rolling in, until one day you wake up and realize you can barely see the person you love through the haze. This distance can manifest in many ways. Maybe your partner is physically present but emotionally checked out. They're going through the motions, but their heart isn't in it. You try to connect, to share your thoughts and feelings, but they meet you with a blank stare or a dismissive shrug. It's like they've built a wall around their heart, and you're left standing on the outside, looking in. This emotional distance can be incredibly painful. It can make you feel lonely, unwanted, and unimportant. You start to question everything: yourself, your relationship, your worth. But here's the thing. You deserve to be with someone who wants to be emotionally present with you, someone who's willing to meet you halfway and build a bridge across that divide. Physical intimacy is a powerful way to connect with our partner. It's a language all its own, one that speaks of love, desire, and commitment. So, when that intimacy starts to fade, it can be a deeply unsettling experience. This doesn't just mean sex, although a decline in sexual intimacy can certainly be a sign of a problem. It's also about the little touches, holding hands, cuddling on the couch, a spontaneous kiss, hello or goodbye. When those touches disappear, it can feel like a physical manifestation of the growing emotional distance between you. It's like your partner is pulling away, both physically and emotionally. Now, it's important to remember that everyone has different needs and desires when it comes to physical touch. Some people are naturally more affectionate than others. But if you've noticed a significant change in your partner's behavior, if they're no longer initiating physical contact or seem to shy away from your touch, it's a conversation that needs to be had. Don't ignore this vital sign. Address it head-on with compassion and understanding. Chapter 4. A future on hold, avoiding plans and commitments. When we're in love, we naturally envision a future with that person. We make plans, we set goals, we dream together. But when your partner starts avoiding any talk of the future, it can be a sign that they're no longer seeing you in theirs. Maybe they used to be excited about planning vacations, attending events together, or even just talking about where you see yourselves in a few years. But now, they deflect those conversations or shut them down entirely. They might make excuses, saying they're too busy or not ready to commit to anything long-term. But deep down, you know it's more than that. It's like they're holding back, hesitant to fully invest in a future that they're not sure they want. This avoidance can be incredibly painful and confusing. It's like they're sending mixed signals, saying they love you with their words, but not with their actions. If you're constantly finding yourself on the outside looking in, wondering where you stand in their life, it's time to have a serious conversation about your expectations for the future. Chapter 5. Short fuse, increased irritability and frustration. Look, every couple argues. It's normal to get on each other's nerves from time to time, but when your partner's baseline demeanor shifts to one of constant irritability and frustration, it's a sign that something deeper is going on. Little things that never used to bother them suddenly become major points of contention. They're easily agitated, quick to anger, and their patience has worn thin. You walk on eggshells around them, afraid to say or do the wrong thing and set them off. It's like they're carrying around a weight on their shoulders, and you're bearing the brunt of their frustration. Now, it's important to remember that this increased irritability could stem from a variety of factors: stress at work, financial worries, or even an underlying health issue. But if you've noticed a significant change in their behavior, and it's directed primarily at you, it's a sign that something's not right in the relationship. Don't brush it off as them just having a bad day. Address the issue head-on and encourage them to talk about what's really bothering them. Chapter 6. Walls of Secrecy. When honesty takes a back seat. Trust and transparency are the cornerstones of any healthy relationship. We need to be able to rely on our partners to be honest with us, even when it's difficult. So, when secrecy starts to creep in, it can erode the very foundation of your bond. Maybe your partner is suddenly very secretive about their phone, always turning it away from you or taking calls in another room. Or perhaps they're evasive about their whereabouts, offering vague answers when you ask about their day. This lack of transparency can be incredibly hurtful and damaging. It breeds suspicion, doubt, and insecurity. You start to question everything, wondering what they're hiding and why they don't feel comfortable confiding in you anymore. Now, it's important to strike a balance between respecting your partner's privacy and recognizing when their behavior is cause for concern. Everyone is entitled to some level of privacy, but when it starts to feel like they're actively keeping secrets from you, it's a red flag that needs to be addressed. Chapter 7. The bare minimum, when effort fades away. Relationships require effort from both partners. It's about showing up for each other, making an effort to connect, and putting in the work to keep the spark alive. So, when one person starts putting in less and less effort, it can be a sign that their heart is no longer in it. Maybe they used to go out of their way to do thoughtful things for you, like planning surprise dates or bringing you your favorite coffee in the morning. But now, those gestures have become few and far between. They're no longer making an effort to initiate quality time together, and when you do spend time together, it feels more like an obligation than a choice. They're just going through the motions, doing the bare minimum to keep the peace. This lack of effort can be incredibly disheartening. It can make you feel unappreciated, unimportant, and like you're the only one still fighting for the relationship. Remember, you deserve to be with someone who's willing to put in the effort, someone who chooses you day after day, not someone who's just along for the ride until something better comes along. Chapter 8. A heart grown cold indifference to your feelings. When we love someone, we care about their feelings. We want to see them happy, and we're there for them when they're hurting. So, when your partner becomes indifferent to your feelings, it can be a sign that their love has faded. You share your joys and sorrows, your hopes and fears, but they meet you with a blank stare or a dismissive shrug. They're no longer emotionally invested in your life, and your feelings are met with apathy or, even worse, annoyance. This indifference can be incredibly painful. It can make you feel like you're talking to a brick wall, like your feelings are invalid and unimportant. You start to question your own worth, wondering why you're not enough to elicit even a flicker of emotion from them. Remember, you deserve to be with someone who cherishes your heart, who listens to you with empathy and compassion, and who makes you feel seen and heard. Don't settle for anything less. Reclaiming your worth. Moving forward with strength and clarity. We've covered a lot of ground today, exploring 8 painful signs that your partner might be emotionally checked out of your relationship. Remember, these signs don't necessarily mean the relationship is over, but they are a wake-up call. It's time to start paying attention, to start asking yourself some tough questions, and most importantly, to start talking to your partner. Open and honest communication is crucial. Share your feelings, express your concerns, and listen to what they have to say. You deserve to be in a relationship where you feel loved, respected, and cherished. Don't settle for anything less. Remember, you are worthy of love, and you have the strength to create a brighter future for yourself, with or without them.